We live.
And I just want to tell you all that I'm doing very, very well. God is amazing. The children here are absolutely 100% beautiful, competent, respectful, disciplined, and I'm just so proud to be a part of the American diaspora here in Africa. Um, I will say this: I don't hate America. I love America. I'm a decorated wartime veteran, so my country is my country, but I am mixed. I'm biracial. I am half American and I am half African, which on my paperwork says African American. So I just came here to embrace the true nature of Star Marie, and I'm just like I said, I just want to let you guys know that I'm so happy to be here. And thanks Octavius for having me.
Anytime, it's been a while since you've been on here, um, and on the internet, and just saying hello on the YouTube sphere. And and the thing is, every time people ask about you, I'll be like, she's living her best life. And what better life can you live like than to live like far away, like in Africa? You know what I'm saying? Doing your thing, just relaxing and learning different languages and things of that nature. And I used to always tell people, I was like, man, say Star's the real, she is the real Carmen San Diego. And I said that I said that shit like in 2018, and they're like, you're living up to that for real. You know what I'm saying? Big time. So about all the controversy and things of that nature, it's a whole another side to you, um, and that people don't really know, they haven't really explored. And that's just one of the things that, and we talked about that early on this channel, and like the beginning of the channel, when we did some of those things, talking about self mastery, how to eat food and things of that nature. And I think those stories that people talk about on the internet that supposedly made you famous, notorious, or whatever they want to call it, overshadowed the better parts of who you are and what you have to offer to social media when you were here and when you were doing your blogging things on Instagram at that time. So yeah, y'all, we got my friend here. I know it's early in the morning, and I know people are gonna catch the replay and whatnot, but we're just getting a nice hello from Star Marie. We're gonna do an official interview at some point in time, but she's here, or with me right now on WhatsApps, um, living in Africa. So for her, what time it is over there?
It is actually 10:14 a.m. in the morning.
Hmm.
Um, Octavius, you know, I've always been a religious buff. I've always been a language buff. So actually, and we can talk about this on an interview, when we have it in the future. I'm actually learning three different languages. So, I will be quad linguist. I will be a quad linguist. Probably in about 3 to 6 months, maybe. I'm learning Kinyarwanda. I'm learning Swahili, and I'm learning Zulu,
Hmm.
and of course English. Back when I was traveling throughout Central America, about I think about 10 years ago or so, I don't even remember, 8 to 10 years ago, I'm sure I was learning Spanish. You know, I've always been a religious buff. I love to learn new languages because I just like to get into the culture, no matter where I'm at. I respect all nations and all cultures to a certain level, and yes, you're right. I do feel like Dora the Explorer slash Carmen San Diego slash Indiana Jones. It's just who I am. And I'm also a big time religious buff. You know that I'm a Christian. So here on the side of Africa that I'm on, Africa consists of 54 countries. 48 of them are actually solid countries, and the other rest are connected. But what drew me over to this side of Africa so that it can make sense to you is my spiritual slash religious preference. Now, I'm not religious, no, because I told you that that is a form of dividing and division, but I am very spiritual, and I worship the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the Bantu tribe here in East Africa are big when it comes to the Hebrew text and the Bible before the Bible and the different pyramids. We got the Ugandans believe that Adam and Eve lived in Uganda, so I'm traveling to Uganda next weekend. Um, they have the old Jesus temple down in Kenya, so I'm going to go explore that. And
Mhm.
there's a couple of pyramids and different things like that. The oldest pyramids are in South Africa, and you guys know I went to Egypt 2 years ago, so I wanted to go see those pyramids. I haven't posted a lot of my studies and stuff online because I didn't want to come off like I think I'm better than others, or I'm overly scholar, or I'm some big Eastern Star Mason, or some Nuwapian, or some, you know, a part of some religious cult. So I kind of keep my journeys, at a minimum. I only talk about them in interviews, and I try not to post too many videos and pictures because I don't want to disrupt what other people there in America have going on. And I'm not looking to be a threat to anything or organizations that are already established there in the US. But Africa is pretty, I will say this, is pretty exciting. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about others, and I'm just indulging here, and it's a great reward that that the Lord up above has given me. And I just can't thank my Father enough, because
Now,
it's not me. It's
from my conversation, even like before and even now, like you talked about like how it is for an African American to live abroad and not just go to like places like Nigeria, like they classically go, or Ghana. Um, so you're going like all over the continent. Like, what is that like for like an African American, from an African American point of view?
Well, the reason why I didn't go to Nigeria and Ghana is not because I have anything against the country. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York, and I lived in Atlanta and Texas for quite some time. And we have a lot of Ghanaians, a lot of Nigerians that live in those states. I'm not sure about Florida and other states, but where I'm from, I basically grew up around Nigerians and Ghanaians. So I pretty much am familiar with their culture. I'm not going to say I know their culture because I haven't been to their countries, but because uh, the areas that I've been with have been so what's the word I'm looking for, influenced by Nigerians and Ghanaians. Like there's a lot of those West Africans there. um I decided to go some to explore other sides of Africa that I didn't really get to really enjoy, learn about living in America. Also, I'm into genetics, and tribal things, and things of that nature. So I wanted to kind of go towards areas that where people look like me. Um, and it is nothing against Nigeria or Ghana, but it's just that the features and the genealogy I didn't see in those countries. But then when I look at Ethiopians and Kenyans and Rwandans, and I look up the Tudi tribe, and there's different tribes. I'm not going to name them all because I mean it's a lot. When I look up these tribes, I see my features. I see the slim nose, the bigger lips, the slanted eyes, the my hair is kind of like Native American. So I just wanted to kind of feel out, you know, the cultures that look a little bit more like me. They're shaped like me, slim waists, bigger derrieres and stuff like that. It did have a lot to do with
Yeah.
physicality why I visited, and also because I am uh, a researcher and I'm an explorer. I've been through a lot, that, Octavius, and a lot of times my therapy is to just study and research. And it keeps me going, keeps me constantly learning something new where my mind is never gets dull or complacent. So I chose to come to start out in South Africa, go throughout the East, and I'm going to go up north soon as well. Egypt put the battery in my back. And I was like, you know what? This is different from home. Like, I'll probably go and pay some respect to West Africa maybe after I do my touring on the east side and the south and the north.
Mm.
Because I love all of Africa, but I just feel like, like Gambia is only a 6 hour flight away from the States. Ghana is what, 8 hours. Nigeria, that's like a hop, skip, and a jump. It's basically for me flying from Atlanta to Florida. Like it's not far. Here out east, we talking 20 hour, 15-hour flights. You all the way on the other side in a whole different time zone. So I just wanted to start further out and then make my way back in to familiarity, if that makes sense. If it's making sense.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So what is the food
Mm-hmm.
like out there? I remember my own personal experience. I met a girl from like South Africa. She said that the food here in America tastes like water. It doesn't have taste. So what is the food like in Africa? You know, now that
Okay, so when I first got to Africa, I was so scared because the food is delicious and I couldn't stop eating, right? But people in America was telling me how in shape I am, like, oh, you got a nice body. But when I got to Africa, I literally felt fat. I felt like I was swollen. Like the girls was my size per se, because I've always been a petite, thick woman, but like they was my size, but they wasn't as puffy. Like they didn't have like that over glare of like water retention like in their cheeks and their thighs. They was very lean when I first got here.
mm,
Taught next to me, lean next to me. Not was they are, but now once I started eating the food, I had to collaborate my eating times because the food is so delicious that you just can't stop eating it. Um, I don't know. Everything is completely organic. When you go to a restaurant, you're gonna wait like 30 minutes to an hour for your meal because they cook it on site. They don't use microwaves at any of the restaurants that I've gone to. The food is not pre-cooked, it's not quickly ready, but it's very, very delicious, very tasty. Everything is local. So what happened with me was I had gained a few pounds like my first week in Africa. Like I must have gained like I don't know like 8 pounds because I was just eating. I couldn't stop eating. It was just so good. And then the food is so cheap. Like you literally are getting your lean game meat, a vegetable, and either injera or some basmati rice. Injera is actually protein. Basmati rice is protein. They eat a lot of protein here. Very little sugar. The diets here in Africa as a whole traditionally is basically no sugar and organic, and uh, they don't drink the same kind of milk that we drink in the U.S. In fact, I think the dairy products in New York, I mean not in New York, in America, are not they I think I'm not sure something, but I don't think that they passed the
pasteurized.
regulation.
Yeah, is it
How,
pasteurized or is it pasteurization? So is it
I'm not sure. I'm gonna
pasteurized?
send you the video. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. I don't want to say anything that's going to incriminate me on social media, so let's just skip that. But
Yeah.
like I said, so once I collaborated my diet intake and I got on a circadian rhythm and I started dealing with my circadian clock, I began to eat the foods in a proper manner, and I started exercising. I got really, really lean. I have like no blemishes on my skin whatsoever, and my hair is just beautiful. Like it's just I feel like I aged like 10 years backwards. And people were already telling me in America that I looked younger, but when I got to Africa, the girls knew I was in my 40s because I guess they all age just like me here. So and when I changed my diet, I just started adapting to my people, to my genetics. So the food is good. One of the main meals here is fish.
Yeah, I heard
Basmati
about
rice
that.
is
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but they
Yeah,
don't
fish is
do like
big in
salmon.
Africa. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Fish is big. They don't do like salmon. They don't do those. They don't do farm raised fish at all. Everything is freshwater fish. So they don't have farm raised fish in Africa. So everything is freshwater. I think mullet is like one of the biggest ones I've eaten though that constantly. Um, a lot of tomatoes is with every meal. Tomatoes, onions, and garlic is with every meal. They cut that up in every meal. It's medicinal to them. And it's just a plethora of fruit. You can eat bananas off the trees. Like where I live at, I'm walking through banana trees. Moringa is grows wild in Africa, which is like a very good mineral for the body. So it grows wild in Africa. Um, Bananas is like basically breakfast. They got green bananas, yellow bananas. They got yellow watermelon. Let me see what else. Coconut. They don't have stuff like they do. They have other fruit, but I'm just talking about like as a plethora. What they don't have is like stuff like grapes and cantaloupe. I don't see those too much. Oranges that we see in the States here, they're not orange. They're actually green and yellow, and they're very very sweet. And they look really really ugly. They're not perfectly round or nothing. They don't have seedless fruit here at all. Um, Everything is grilled. They don't eat a lot of fried foods. Everything is grilled or cooked on a in water. Like they have one of the main meals is chicken boil. Like they boil
Mm,
a chicken leg with a bunch of beautiful vegetables in there, and you just eat it with your rice, and you be full.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, well,
Mm-hmm.
far as you've been an advocate of mental health, and you talked about mental health, your own journey with it. I talked to you a few times since you've been in Africa, and I gotta say, um, you just seem a lot more at peace, and as a friend, I'm very happy that you have found your peace, even if it is in a foreign land. You know what I mean? And can you touch on a little bit about that? Because you're open about it in your journey on that.
Well, okay. I'm gonna be open about it. I want to say this without sounding condescending or cocky or mean,
Hmm.
but jealousy is abusive. It's abuse. Envy is abusive. I mean, and if you're an attractive person, you're going to get those things. And it's not easy living life and enjoying yourself in every friend or every situation or majority or people in power that you run across. They have this envy for you, and then it impacts your social life because now you're isolated. You don't have nobody to talk to. People don't like you. People always having attitudes with you, especially when you're a person like me who likes to help and loves to protect people who are abused and things of that nature. Jealousy just doesn't really help. And knowing the things that I know about America and versus Africa, it did help my mental health because you got to remember, Octavius, you got Florida, which has black people in Miami, couple black people in Fort Lauderdale, but the whole state of Florida is black, is white. You got New York, that got New
Yeah.
York City, but the whole state of New York is white. You got Georgia, which got Atlanta, that's black, but the whole Georgia is white. So I had realized that only 11% of the population in America is actually black, which means that 89% of America is white. And you guys could Google this and look this up online. And then you can fit the whole entire America inside of the Sahara Desert of Africa. So it's a very small country, but it's a lot of white people, yet and still us black people are hating on each other, and it's not even that many of us. And sometimes the hate could get so real that you could you could offend a lower level Mason or Eastern Star that happens to be black, and now you got problems with the whole entire white military or white police uh force. Or it's hard, it's scary, it's hard. Now you're just one black person who has to fight up against the National Guard, all because somebody is offended by how you look or your genetics. And that's really scary. But then you got Africa, where we just take South Africa for example, which is probably the whitest country in Africa, right? But it's only
Yeah.
8.4% white, and the rest is more than 90% is black. You understand where I'm coming from?
Hmm.
So if you get a form of jealousy or envy, it doesn't feel as brutal because you still have your tribe and your brothers and sisters who you could fall back on and be embraced by and get love from, as opposed to America. So I think what happened to me in America, because I do love my country, but I think what happened to me in America is that it was so little of us, it's such a small amount. So every 1 out of 30 people that I met was actually sincere. and the rest was just counterfeit energies that was attacking me for out of nowhere, either because they're envious or because they're using excuses like celebrities and using excuses like my media publicity, or using excuses like the way I walk or the way I danced online to say that they don't like me, or to call me, out of my character. And it was hard on my mental health. It really was. I'm human at the end of the day, and it was breaking me. It was breaking me. A lot of people were saying, she's not broke yet. She still look too good, so she's a challenge. But you can't really tell if somebody's broken by their genetics. And I think that's what ran me to Africa, because people were taking my natural, innate, look. Like, I can't help that I have a thin nose, or I have curly hair, or that I'm a lighter hue, or that, I can't help those things. That's just natural. And people were taking how I look to defy my mental state. So now I'm going through all of this inside internally. I'm begging for help, and I'm begging for peace, and I'm hurting like crazy inside. But because the way that my outside looked, I was being judged, and I was not getting any help, the help that I needed to help me mentally. So when I got here to East Africa, and thousands and thousands and thousands of other women look just like me that been through the same thing, it was easier for me to find peace and adjust, because I no longer felt alone.
Yeah.
And life is not meant to live by yourself and to be alone. And in America, I felt abandoned, and I felt isolated, and I felt alone, and I felt prejudged, and I felt unbelieved because of my genealogy. And I
Mhm.
don't feel like that here. So um
Yeah,
it
I could
helped me.
yeah, I could tell because like talking to you now, it's like talking to you before that whole incident with the social media, turmoil that you went through, because you went through a lot with that, and you found a place of rest and dealing with jealousy. You talked about jealousy, and I'm telling you, hey, I'm dealing with some haters, jealous people, on a small micro level myself, and I can relate. You know what I'm saying? I can relate. I could surely relate. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you at a place where now you don't have to worry about people trying to find out where you are. It's impossible to find out where you are and everything that now. And
And I'm in a place possible for people to be jealous of me,
mhm,
because 90% of the girls here, it's like being in Asia. Like, we all
mhm,
look alike, almost damn near the same body, the
right,
same facial structure. So really, here, if I was to be attacked, it would have to be for something that's very pertinent. Like, it's not going to be, oh, I don't like her because she has a small waist, because everybody in the village has a small waist. Or I don't like her because she's caramel complected and she got curly hair, when everybody in the village is caramel complected and has curly hair. And then
mhm,
even the browner, darker hue girls, this is Africa. So I mean, it's nothing but sun. You can't escape that. So nobody is looking down on people saying, "Oh, she's dark. She's ugly." Like, it just doesn't. They just don't have those setbacks here. It's just everybody's outside of that matrix here,
yeah,
and the abuse is at bay.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah,
Oh, we got a
yeah.
question. It said, now before we go to the question, I want to say to people out there, like in South Africa, almost all those girls look like they got BBLs. Am I lying?
I'm in East Africa now.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
South South Africa has they got the Zulu tribe. So the thing about the Zulu tribe is, the Zulu tribe believe that they're supreme to all the African tribes. They believe that they're the original. So even if they don't have BBLs, their
Yeah.
confidence is so high up the food chain, because they believe
Mhm.
that they're the leaders of the black community,
Yeah.
that they're so evolved mentally that they don't even they don't even care about that. Like it's just
Yeah.
they're somewhere else. It's not even about body to them. Everything
Yeah.
with them in the Zulu tribe is about mental and spirituality. They also don't believe in God. They believe in the sun. So they believe in life. So
Okay.
East Africa and South Africa is two different things. Now, South Africa, yeah, almost every girl here looks like they got a BBL.
Yeah,
Yes,
they all of them
absolutely.
like Instagram models. Like, yeah.
Even Ethiopia. So I was in
Mhm.
Ethiopia last week. I loved Ethiopia. I had a beautiful time there. They treated me like I was their sisters. I was talking to the visa people. They was like, "Oh, yo, are you coming back home?" And I'm like, "Come back home." They were like, "Yes, you belong here. This is your home." And I'm just like, "Really?" So I mean, Ethiopia was very embracive. They fed me injera like nobody's business. But yeah, they all, every last one of them looked like they had a BBL. And they
They
definitely
were
don't.
just looking
Even
good. Yeah.
the
Some good looking women there.
yeah,
Yeah.
very good looking. Also, when I got here to K Ronda, they got very good dental work here for some reason. Like I've gone to a lot of third world countries where the dental work is not so good, but here they all look like they got veneers, but they don't. It's their beautiful white straight teeth. Um,
Mhm.
the stuff that they're using in their mouth. I mean, it's just like I said, I'm just when I got here myself, it's the first time in my life that I've ever been intimidated and didn't feel like I was the center of attention or standing out. And I loved it. I embraced it. I was like, wow, like you girls are beautiful. Like who's gonna like me, And they just helping me and treating me like a sister and showing me all of their little beauty secrets and stuff. So now I'm putting turmeric on my face and I'm washing with moringa soap and using moringa oil on my face. And I mean, they just got me, they hooking me up. They hooking a
Yeah,
sister up. And
turmeric bring down inflammation. That's turmeric is an inflammation fighter.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
loving it. I'm really loving it. I got this stuff I just bought the other day from this lady outside. All the ladies sell it, but if you missing edges or whatever, it's supposed to grow all your edges back in 2 weeks, and it's made with. I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to you so you can show them. And it's
Yeah.
it's made with like all organic stuff from like the trees and stuff. It's like dope. It's like tree sap. So yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like the thing
Yep.
is with me and you, we used to spend hours on the phone talking about herbs and natural remedies and stuff like that. So, stop be knowing what she talk about when it come to that stuff. Somebody
Yeah.
asked a question, Wigs and Wine asked, Octavius, did she get her DNA test to confirm what part of Africa she's from?
I did. So I did. So now I'm gonna break this down to you all. So they claim that Puerto Ricans come from North Africa, right? So my DNA test says that I'm 60% Sudanese and 40% Puerto Rican. So which means that if I'm 40% Puerto Rican, and that means that my family genetics would actually be from North Africa, but I
Mhm.
am more Sudanese than anything. So Sudan is actually on the East African coast. So this is why I'm traveling throughout East Africa, because we have a lot of Sudanese um that are in tribes here throughout South Africa. I mean throughout East Africa. So when you talk about Ethiopia, when you talk about Rwanda, when you talk about Kenya, when you talk about Malawi, is that over here? I have my map. It's so many countries. Jesus Christ. When you talk about stuff on the eastern border, I actually had a map open. I wish I was open for that. You're gonna find that they're all like interconnected with each other. So even if I'm in Rwanda, I might run into probably 20 Sudanese girls on the strip. Does this make sense? Or if you're in
Yeah.
Sudan, you might run into 5 Ethiopian girls on the strip. So it's all mixed. It's all a collaborative mix of tribes. I think they all look the same, to be honest with you. I think Sudanese, Eritreans, Kenyans, and Ethiopia, I think they all kind of have like a similar look, but that's because I'm an American coming to Africa trying to find my own way. So when I'm looking out of the out of the telescope or the glass, that's what this is what I see. Now the Africans here may not agree with me. They might be like, no, I'm Ethiopian, no, I'm Sudanese, no, I'm this. But in my opinion, because I'm an outside looking in, I think they all have kind of like the same structure. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm 60%. So I'm actually my genetic makeup is Sudanese, Sudan.
Oh, that's what's up. So have you
Hmm.
been to Sudan yet?
So I have not been to Sudan yet because I was told
It's like a
when I was
war
in
going
South
on, right?
Africa, yeah, to just let it kind of calm down a little bit. I really, really want to go there. Now, don't get me wrong though. I did go to Egypt, right, guys? And
Yeah.
I did start out in the top area of Sudan because when I went to Nubia, which is at the border of Sudan and Egypt, a lot of Sudanians were there. So I don't know if you guys get I had shut down my other social media account, but it had all my pictures of Egypt there. So I did go to
I
a
think I have
village.
them. I have them
Yeah,
recorded. Yeah.
yeah, so I was in a village that was 100% Sudanese, because in the beginning of Egypt, it's called Ash. Wait, what is it called? Ash. I don't know Egyptian language. Ashwan. It's called
Ashwan. Yeah,
Ashwan.
yeah. That's it.
Ashwan.
Yeah. That'll be the name.
Ashwan and Sudan are connected. The border's right there. So I did spend 2 weeks in Ashwan at the Sudanian border. So that was I was able to do that. And while I was in Egypt, I don't know if you do have the picture with me with the girls with the Christian girls with the it looks like they got on Muslim clothes, but they're actually Christians wear garbs in Africa as well. Those were actually Sudanese women that I was in pictures with. And I have a couple at the pyramids with a few Sudanese girls as well. So I'm not going to lie to social media and say that I've gone to Sudan and just immersed in that country, but I did get a little whiff of it. And it was a great experience. And I do agree with my genetic makeup. I could definitely pass for Sudanese, but I also can pass for Ethiopian too. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I am, my genetic makeup is
But it's
Sudanese.
hap. It's
That's
they this well. It's called Habasha. You know what I mean? Because it's
how.
yeah. They
Hmm.
they transcend just Ethiopia. So you got Habasha women in Ethiopia and Sudan, and I think even in
Yes.
certain parts of Somalia too. So
Yes, and the thing about it is, I want America, especially. It don't have to be. It's not a black or white thing for me, but I think that epigenetics is very important to pay attention to. So a lot of people that are going through mental health and stress and just not feeling like they don't belong or feeling abused, start to study epigenetic, because we are all epigenetics, and all of us are, even those of us who believe that we're extraterrestrials, or you have to understand gene mutations and epigenetics in order to really find yourself. And sometimes it takes, sacrificing a little of your life so that you can solve those enigmas that bring in chronic physical and mental stress in your life. You know what I'm saying? So I
mm,
think me going through mental health for 6 years when I was in America, it gave me the ability to truly find what can help me and how I can reason with what I was going through inside. Because one thing a beautiful girl doesn't want to do is play crazy, not for a check, not for a man, not for life. I just really had a lot of emotional drawbacks because I felt like I was being attacked because I didn't understand genetic mutations and epigenetics. I think epigenetic research has really helped me a lot, and it has pushed me to travel and to invest my life and my money into just that. And I'm glad that I sacrificed my complacency and, I guess, uncomfortable mobility to reprogram my mind, and understanding my DNA and my epigenetics. It took a while, but it's a science, and it's a science that breaks generational curses. And I know I was told that each of us carry 15 to 20 generations of DNA in our body. Like, we have 15 to 20 generational ancestor memories and we carry their traumas. So in order for us to actually break ourselves of those generational curses and escape and get out of what I would call the matrix, we have to start to learn how every cell in our body um, works. And the only thing that's going to help us with that is epigenetics, listening and responding and just interacting with the environment that best suits
Environment.
you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those that understand, epigenetics is just pretty much how environment affects your uh,
Your DNA, because DNA is
your
basically
DNA is
natural
subject
conductor.
to change through
Yeah.
in your environment. Basically, is what she's talking about.
Yeah.
So like her going
Cause,
to
cause,
Africa. Let me just explain for the people that don't
mhm.
understand. Her going to
Okay.
Africa is actually expounding upon a certain um, ancestral memory within her genetic makeup. That's what she's saying.
Which helps me adapt better,
Yeah,
because before
exactly.
I
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, I wasn't in my right environment. And I wasn't, when I was in America, yes, I'm born in America. Yes, I fought for the country, but I didn't know, I wasn't really, I wasn't controlling the orchestration of my own energy, which is my attitude. I didn't have my attitude under control because I didn't understand how important epigenetics, the science itself, was, until I started studying it and I made that big move and say, you know what? Let me just give everything up. Let my son go with his dad. Let my parents be where they're at. Let me leave the country and the job and really just see if this epigenetic scientific thing really works. And I'm telling you, and I started looking at a lot of pictures. This was like a 2 to 5 year plan. So it wasn't something that I did overnight. I was going through mental struggles, and for like 2 to 5 years I was studying a lot about Africa. I think I studied all 54 countries. That's why I know it's 54 countries in Africa. And I studied everything. So I know about the percentages of the populations and everything. And I started looking at pictures. I started delving. Like, I used to be a rapper and I used to try to do acting, but because I felt like I got rejected from Hollywood, and it was very hurtful, I started indulging in watching videos on African countries and the people, and looking at pictures and looking at the foods. And then I would look at pictures of myself and look at my attitude. And I'd be like, oh, well, I think I could do that. Or I think I could eat that. Or I think I could go there. Oh my gosh, she looks like me. Okay, she don't look like me. Okay, this, and I just kind of like just kept narrowing it down, narrowing it down, narrowing it down. And I this is the choice I made. And I wanted to start in South Africa because I read so much about the Zulu tribe and the Bantu tribe, learning about how the Bible came from the Bantu tribe, which is basically in South Africa. I wanted to see them because I'm a Bible buff, Octavius. I'm a religious buff. No matter how
Mhm.
bad I was or whatever
Yeah.
I did, I love the Bible. So that's what made me start out in South Africa first. So I didn't start
Uh,
out in South Africa.
mm.
Yes, yes,
Far
yes.
as your
Yeah.
travels though, Angel Food asked in the chat, is Star on a guided tour of Africa or she's traveling freely?
Okay, so I'm glad she asked that. So I'm gonna tell you no and yes. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say yes. When I first went to Egypt, and Egypt has a lot to do with this trip because, like I said, this was a 2 to 5 year plan. I did have a full blown guided tour. I had a translator with me that met me every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he stayed with me to 5 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. In Egypt, I think the average person makes like $400 a month, so I paid him like $80 a week to do this for me. And my translator was the person who guided me. He went with me throughout Egypt the whole entire trip. I felt like that was a crutch for me because he was taking me to where he wanted to take me, and I just did. I felt like I spent $10,000 on just tourism, and I didn't really get to, like, if I would have went by myself, I probably would have went to Sudan when I was in Ashwan. And I probably would have stayed there for a couple of days here and there. But because I was on the guided tour and then he was translating everything for me, so it didn't give me a chance to learn the language. So I decided to come to Africa on my own, but I do have an itinerary and I do have places that I've researched by myself that I'm actually exploring. So I don't know if that answers her question. Ask her, is that suffice?
Yeah, it's going. I think we like a minute ahead, so they'll take time for that. They'll hear what you said. But yeah,
Okay.
let's. Yeah, so I guess people are asking in the chat, but they're not asking. But I'm gonna ask you about: are you still doing your raps, or still pursuing music just
Um.
on your own as a
So
hobby? As a hobby, that is.
so I'm not doing music anymore or acting because I have a mental journal that I
Mm-hmm.
carry with me. I wish I had pictures I could say I have a mental health journal that I carry with me, and my mental health journal has a list of triggers and non-triggers. Um Unfortunately, I am very talented, but music is a trigger for me, so I decided to not allow my talent to be a passion for me if it doesn't work for me mentally. So no, I don't do music anymore. I am very talented. I'm definitely a music buff by nature. I was born just writing music and being able to. I have a lot of soul, but because of the backlash that I received behind a petty music industry beef that I feel that was scapegoated the whole time. It wasn't even real. It was a situation that opened the door for people who was already trying to come at me anyway. I decided not to indulge in that genre of life anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're done, basically done with all that stuff. That part of your life is over. So what kind of hobbies are you pursuing now besides like traveling? You see that, and we understand you into the healthy eating and living. So like, what else you got? What Star got moving forward?
Okay, well, we got hobbies and we got business. So I'm here in Africa on a business survey visa. So y'all know I'm an entrepreneur. I am opening 3 businesses, but the businesses won't be in my name. I have some locals here that are going to run the businesses as if they're the owners, and I'll just be a ghost to those businesses because y'all know I love helping the community. um I'm still in the beauty business because I love beauty, and I'm still in the health business. As far as my hobbies are concerned, I like to play soccer. um I love to I'm a foodie, so I love to taste foods and I love to swim. And there's a plethora of beaches. And I love to go to the gym. So they have a lot of gyms in Africa, believe it or not. I haven't posted pictures of me in the fitness center, but I go to the gym. I walk in the sun 2 hours a day. I take a tablespoon of Himalayan sea salt to keep my pineal gland strong and to keep me from having mental health issues. And then I also go to the gym every night, Monday through I mean Sunday to Sunday. So I'm in the gym every night from Sunday to Sunday for an hour, and I also walk 2 hours a day, and I do my Himalayan sea salt therapy. But yes, I do have businesses that I am successfully starting and opening here in Africa.
That's what's up. So if y'all got any, let me see. This is a great inspiration. I always plan on traveling through Africa, and this just motivates me more. Yeah, Angel Food. She travels to Europe and everything like that. I've seen her and another guy from the conscious community, her boyfriend Solomon, from the conscious community. They've been to Europe a few times and traveled. And you've been to Europe a few times, right?
Yes, I have.
But
Yep.
but
Hmm.
but the thing is, from what I'm hearing from Star, like this is really Angel, like it's for her, and like I'm telling you, like I known her since 2010, from around about November of 2010, and for her, she's at her peace right now. Like talking to her is like before, like when that whole thing happened on social media with the rapper person, um, talking to her now, it's like I got my friend totally back. You know what I mean? And so if
Yeah, because the thing for me is I don't want to be. I don't mind standing out. I'm not going to say I'm afraid to stand out, but I don't want to live. in a place where I stand out, because I feel like people are going through whatever they're going through, and you can't call somebody wrong or right. It's no wrong or right. I just don't want people to feel like, oh, she thinks she's better than me, when that's so far left from who I am and everything that I was born to be. It hurts. It's very hurtful when you're a person that really, really, really loves society and really hates bullies and really likes to
Mhm.
protect. I mean, you got to remember, I served the military and I'm a wartime vet, and I'm a decorated wartime vet at that. And my master's degree is in human resources. So, and nobody goes to college for human resources for 6 years that don't care. You know what I'm saying? And pass on the dean's list.
Mhm. You still there? I think I'm losing her connection, y'all. So we're just gonna wait for her to
I
come
got it. I
back.
had another.
Okay, you back.
I'm sorry about I had another call come in, but I don't know where was I, because I'm sorry
Oh,
about
you
that.
was
It's
on the
like
dean. You're saying on the dean's list.
yeah, I
You.
mean, you don't
Mhm.
dean's list and you HR and you getting straight A's. You don't take those kind of courses unless you really care. Like I can't make this up. And I just got tired of people saying, "Oh, she thinks she's better than people. She's manipulative. She's condescending." I mean, I'm a spiritual person, but I curse. I talk about Jesus, but I wear cut off shirts. Like, how real can that get? Like, nobody manipulative is going to tell you, I love God, I read the Bible, and then say the word shit and fuck in the same sentence if they were manipulative. Nobody's going to say, hey, I'm celibate, and then wear a bikini and take a picture online if they were manipulative. If I was manipulative, I would be wearing the whole suit. I would be dressed like a nun. I would never ever curse. And I would be on there hiding behind biblical texts, but really underneath the underbelly is just disgusting and nasty. That's a manipulative person, and I just got tired. And I was being judged by my genealogy. I was being judged by my genetics. I was being judged by my DNA. And I said, this can't have something has to give here. And that's what pushed me to study epigenetics. That's what pushed me to study the energy of DNA and environment. And that's when I said, you know what? This is not a problem that can't be fixed. I have to find my environment. I'm in the wrong environment, and I don't know how to control it because no one has ever taught me. Now, I'm not saying maybe 5 or 6 years down the line, I may come back to America and live in America, because I mean, I fought for the country. I'm not just throwing America in the garbage. America is Black people were a gift to America. I read a couple of books about this, where we were God's gift to America. So I'm not throwing America in the garbage. It's just that I need to be somewhere where I can strengthen my own horizon, so that when these things attack me, I'm ready for them. And I was not prepared or ready for them, because one thing is, I come from a large family, right?
Yeah.
But people in my family don't look like me. And I mean, it's the truth. I mean, like epigenetics says, each of us have at least 20 ancestral, at least, that's at least, because some of us got 40, 50, but each of us have at least 20 generations of trauma and DNA makeups inside of us. And out of every family, there's always a black sheep or the grunt of the litter or something like that. And I think that I just was um, born being just that. Like, I don't look like people. I don't look like my mom. I don't look like my dad. I don't look like my siblings. I don't look like my cousins that I naturally was birthed from. Maybe the gene pool distributed in me different from my brother or my sister or my cousin or my mom or my dad. And not only was I having these issues externally, but they was happening internally as well. So I couldn't get a break. I just couldn't. So I think that's really the main goal here as to what I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm tunnel vision about it. I just don't want to be somewhere where I'm standing out and just getting abused because of how I naturally show up in the world. I can't I can't I can't I can't take a razor blade and slash it across my face. I can't eat 10 pounds of cake and cookies and die from diabetes just to fit in. I just can't do it. So I'm trying my very best to be in a place where I can fit in at least until I can get a balance and find myself a happy medium. Now, I'm not saying Beyonce is not beautiful or Alicia Keys ain't beautiful or Maya ain't beautiful. They're beautiful girls and they don't have the same problem as me. Or they may have the same problem as me. Who knows? But the way that they're showing up in the world, or Shanti, or all them girls, the way they're able to show up in the world, I wasn't trained to show up in the world like that. So I have to train myself. Maybe they had a different mother or a different father or a different sibling or different cousins or came from a different hood. I know me, I have to work with what works for me. So, because people be like, well, Beyonce's pretty, she ain't leave, or Maya's pretty, she ain't leave. Well, they probably didn't have the same, you know, upbringing I had or abuse I had. Maybe they had elders around them that helped them be able to show up in the world a little different from me. I just got tired of getting beat up on.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, as far as beauty goes, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
the truth is that you're abnormally beautiful naturally, right? Do you is
Okay.
it some is it no, it's a serious thing, you know what I mean? Because like I've seen it be a blessing and a curse to you through the time I've known you for almost we're on 13 years now. So I've seen it be a blessing and a curse to a certain degree. Do you can you agree with that, or how do you view that statement?
Well, before I answer that, I just want to say thank you for saying I'm abnormally beautiful. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so that's your opinion. I don't
Yeah.
want to be cock and say that for myself because we're not supposed to do that. So, uh, ask me that question again because I just wanted to make
You
sure
know, I
I
mean,
say
as
thank
far as your life has gone, especially in your like, you know, your adulthood in the last 10 years,
you. Mm-hmm.
I've seen you in America, you're atomically above average as far as beauty goes. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
what the people or the black man or you know just America desires. You know what I'm saying? As far as like
Mm-hmm.
what women look like, what they want or whatever. And I
Mm-hmm.
like me being your friend for almost 13 years. I've seen you have extreme blessings from being abnormally beautiful and also having like dealing with extreme jealousy. So like um how do you view how you deal with that beauty, and do you believe that this beauty has driven you to leave the United States for that very reason?
Yes. I will say this. I'm gonna say yes with a capital Y. So one of the things that attacked me, I was getting a lot of counterfeit and I was getting a lot of counterfeit energies being sent my way because a lot of the people who were actually jealous of me, they have a lot of money. They're in very big positions and they were paying people plenty of money to make me look crazy or look like a nut or to gaslight me. So what they would do was they would study me on social media and be like, "Oh, she likes the color red. Oh, she eats snails. Oh, she wears Nike." So they'll send a guy to me that likes the color red, who eats snails, that wears Nike, and then he would butter me up, treat me like a queen, bring me all the way to the top of the mountain, tell me he like everything I like. Meanwhile, he's in the background in a Zoom meeting studying everything about me. And then
Hmm.
after I fall in love and have sex with him, he'll gaslight me and ghost me. And me not knowing until it's too late that he was paid by a fraternal order to do that to me, I just went celibate. I completely went celibate and shut down. So what I was doing in America was I was making people actually get to know me, forcing them to get to know me and forcing them to be around me for a long enough time until I tired them out and they can't hit the bullseye and then they just leave anyway. So it affected me because it made me more disciplined. It made me understand that beauty is beauty. Yes, it is a gift, but you have some really bad predators out here that if they're offended by your beauty, they will stop at nothing and spend millions, thousands, if not billions of dollars to make you ugly because they just can't stand looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
Did I answer that, or do you want me
Oh
to
yeah, no,
elaborate a
no,
little more?
yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's just like like as far as the last 10 years, especially since the social media, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Matter of fact,
It's
the whole time I was dancing, the whole
mhm,
time I was a dancer, I only danced. I never did any form of prostitution. Not that I have anything against prostitution. I mean, like I told you in the last video, people do what they do, but I was a dancer. I didn't leave the club with anybody. I didn't exchange any sex for money. I just worked in the club. I'm 44 years old. I only worked in the club for 2.5 years of my entire life. So a lot of people, especially these predators, they're gonna put stripping on me to try and cover up who I really am. But once I show up in the world and I tell people, listen, I'm 44 years old and I've only danced for 2.5 years of my entire life, which is like probably not even 1% of my life. And I've never, ever, ever had sex for money, not one time. But I did dance naked. Most of the clubs that I worked in, you can't even take the bottoms off, so people ain't really get to see my vagina like that. And I was just getting tips. The reason why I was a dancer is because I needed to save money to go to college. Because I wanted to go back to college and get my master's degree someday. So I wanted to save money, and also I was going through a divorce, and I wanted help to pay my legal fees. And a regular job without a college degree, I just couldn't afford. So I decided to dance. Plus, I'm a naturalist. I believe that we're all born naked, and I believe in the whole Adam and Eve, who told you you were naked type stuff. So I didn't really feel like being a dancer was sinful at the time, but I didn't know that the people that were targeting me behind the scenes that had a lot of money would judge me for that or would use that against me. So I just didn't know. I was innocently just doing a job that I thought was legal, that could bring in some extra money to help me, get to the goal that I was trying to get to. But unfortunately for me, I got to the goal, and then when I got to the goal, I got attacked.
mm, yeah. Oh, we got a question. Say, aren't you from New York?
Yes, I'm from New York. I'm actually born in the Bronx. I'm born in the Bronx. I moved to Queens when I was a small baby, but I spent every summer in the Bronx. My grandmother was a school teacher in the South Bronx, and every summer I had to live in the Bronx. So I went to school in Queens for the winter. Summertime I was living in the Bronx with my grandmother, going back and forth to work with her and staying at my aunt Gert's house. She died. So I'm actually from the Bronx and I'm from Queens. I'm from
Hmm.
both boroughs. So I
Yeah.
don't have a bonding with Queens people. I don't have a bonding with Bronx people because my grandmother kept me traveling so much that I really wasn't able to build like good solid relationships in Queens, and I wasn't able to build good solid relationships in Bronx because by the time the next school year came around, I'm over here, and then by the time the next summer year, I'm over here. But I'm definitely a full blown Bronx, New York, and Queens girl for sure. So
Oh, okay. Oh
if you
yeah,
listen
you
to me
definitely
talk,
sound
I
like a New
sound
Yorker.
right, but I actually sound like a Bronx girl from Queens. So a lot of
Yeah.
times Queens girls look at me and be like, "Why she sound like that?" But she from Queens, like why she talk like that? But I'm actually a Bronx girl that lived in Queens, and I'm actually a Queens girl that lived in the Bronx.
Hmm.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're about to wrap it up or whatnot, and I know that was like what it's like 11 o'clock over there right now.
It's still early. I usually take my sun walk around 12:30, so it's 11:10,
Mhm.
and my walk in the sun starts around 12:30. So what I do, I'm about to tell you my little regimen. I put moringa powder and turmeric powder in my hair with a little bit of conditioner, and I walk in the sun with it, and then when I get back, I wash the hair out. This is supposed to break this is supposed to help keep the hair from turning gray. and getting thin and old. And I guess because I'm in my mid 40s, I'm doing it's not that I'm fighting gray hairs, but I just want to see if this works. So far so good. I don't have one strand of gray hair, not one, not one. And I'm allergic to hair dye. So and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling y'all my routine. I
Mm-hmm.
learned about I learned about reversing gray hair in Costa Rica, by the way, not in Africa, um initially, and then I learned more about it coming to the motherland. But I have a book on Amazon that's that are published that you guys could buy, those of you who have gray hair, where you can reverse gray hair. I went when I was living in Costa Rica. They had a blue zone, and they had a white couple, a black couple, a Spanish couple. They were in their 90s, and they put them on this diet. They was all full gray, and then within 2 years, all their hair turned brown to black. The gray hairs turned. So I've been actually work on that diet, and I think it works because everybody I grew up with has gray hair, and I don't. So I don't think that has anything to do with my genetics. I think that has everything to do with, the diet. So they say if you lack copper and certain minerals, that your hair is going to turn gray at a certain age. So
Oh yeah,
not that I don't like.
if you may not remember this, but remember my uncle, my old uncle that he died like in 2013.
Hmm.
Remember he was taking the moringa and black seed oil powder pills or whatever,
Yeah. So
and his hair
okay.
started
Yes.
reversing. Yeah, his hair started reversing and going back black
So
at
you
80.
know. So
I seen it.
you know
Yeah.
Octavius. You know I've been taking moringa for the last 20. I think since you did I have I known you for 20 years yet? It's
No,
been
no, about
about that
20.
on.
But we going on
Oh,
14 years knowing each other now.
okay.
Around that time.
So I've been taking moringa. I've been taking moringa and African moringa at that. No other moringa. It's cheap here, unfortunately, because I buy like big jugs of moringa here for like $1, $2. But I know that in the States it's like $40 because you got to pay for customs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've been taking moringa um vigilantly and diligently since I met you, Octavius. I remember when I first started moringa, I was doing it 3 times. Every time I eat a meal, I would sprinkle it on my food. Like if I have a
Yeah,
hamburger, I'm putting it on
you
burger
put it on.
fries.
Yeah, you put it on like it was salt and pepper.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but and I think it may have I think the moringa have has been I think that it's been a major part in my body when I did get sick those 2 times, and then my mental health, my making my body be able to heal itself at
Hmm.
such the pace that it has been. I mean, I just love moringa. It stimulates hair growth. I've done shaved my hair off like 5 or 6 times and end up with a big old afro like within 3 to 4, 6 months. They say healthy hair grows 2 inches a month.
Hmm.
Black people's hair. Actually, black people's hair grows faster than any other race. We just don't use the right. We don't have the right nutrients in our body, so we think that if you don't have white hair or Spanish hair, that your hair can't grow. But actually, that's just the opposite. Black people actually, I call it nigger hair. It grows faster than the other race if if the minerals are intact and if the diet is right. That was something that I wanted to push, but because I love my hair short, the reason why I like my hair short is because of my shape. And I'm short. I'm only like 5'4", 5'3", and
Hmm.
some change. Long hair makes me look like the it. So this is why when y'all see me, y'all be like, yo, her hair was so long. Why she keep cutting it?
Hmm.
Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't look good with my hair too long because my face is narrow. I have a smaller back, and I just look better with hair that's shoulder length. It just looks better on, not shoulder length, but like neck length. It just looks better on me. Like for example, like Holly Berry or Jada Pinkett or Nia Long. To me, they all look way prettier with short hair. To me, in my opinion, some women look nice with long hair and some don't. I'm one of those girls where I can grow hair down to my back, but it just doesn't do anything for my image.
Hmm.
So I did want to advocate for women who want to grow their own hair, and I wanted to put out these products, but because I have shorter hair, I just kind of refrained from it because I didn't want to be a hypocrite pushing something that I know definitely works, but because I'm sitting up there with a short afro, people like, I ain't listening to her. Look at her hair. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But trust, If you're a black girl and you want your hair to grow beyond control, it's all about that diet. It's not about the hair products. It's not about the grease. It's not about putting braids in your hair and not combing it or not washing it. It's all about your food. It's the food.
Exactly. And my mom is almost 80 years old, and she had some issues. Um, I'll say almost like 8 years ago, and she started taking the herbs and stuff. And she, me and Star used to talk about herbs on the phone for hours on end. So our relationship is a nerd relationship. So we was talking about herbs hours on end. She traveled to see some of the greatest herbalist gurus that y'all know about, and revere or whatever, like Dr. Sabi or whatnot. And
Okay, I wanna say something about Dr. Sabi too. I'm gonna say this.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to be connected. I don't want to be connected to Dr. Sabi anymore because that whole situation, whoever his family is in touch with or whoever he's attached to, those people are not they don't like my name and my face card attached to their dad. So
Uh,
let's respect them. I'm
oh
not a
yeah.
vegan. I don't push Dr. Sabi herbs. I never did. I went to go visit Honduras. I stayed in his Airbnb because I felt like it was cheaper to stay in his Airbnb than for me to go to the Marriott or one of those more expensive hotels in the area. At the time when I went to Honduras, I didn't only visit Honduras. I went to Guatemala, Belize, Costa Rica, and other parts of Central America. They all are connected to each other. They're all just a cab ride away. Matter of fact, I flew into Guatemala to go to his place. I'm not very braggadocious, so a lot of
Mm,
times a lot of trips that I do, I don't always expose everything until people get real nosy and indignant and they start trying to play me. Like I just came from Ethiopia, but there's nowhere indicating online that I went to Ethiopia. Just like no one knows that I'm in Rwanda and I'm going to Uganda this weekend. I'm
mm.
not posting these things. I don't post the whole story online. So sometimes if somebody's on the background on the outside looking in and they just want drama, they'll cue in on what I post and then make it about that. But my trip to Honduras was not about going to just Dr.
And you
Sabi.
didn't.
I didn't go.
That made you like someone went on your face. What was it? Facebook at the time. It was because around
Yes,
2015. They went on their Facebook and they took the video and put it on YouTube. And I think that YouTube video is like at 2 or 3 million views right now. And
right.
they
And the
never
thing
even gave you
about it,
credit for it. Yeah.
not only that, I didn't even record those videos. His own people recorded it and then turned around and said I was a clout chaser. I didn't even
Hmm.
record those videos. But then they
Yeah.
turned around and said that I was trying to use his diet to get props when I'd never even been on the Dr. Sabi diet, but when I went to Honduras. So I mean, I'm not saying his diet don't work. I'm sure it probably does. I mean, people respect him, but I eat meat. And when
Yeah.
I was a vegan, I was only a vegan for a very short time in my life. I wrote a rap song about I eat vegan, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you write music, it's called creative writing. I'm not always writing personally about myself. That's another reason why I stopped writing. It's just like Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg writes scary movies and writes about killing and murdering, but you're gonna call Steven Spielberg a murderer? Or it's like a heavy metal band. Oh fuck, hell, kill her the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fucking the devil, right? But when they get off stage, you're not saying that they're murderers. So if I get online and I rap about a chick like me, I've been in the game, hustling hard, trying to get my change. That doesn't mean that I really been in the game and I'm hustling hard. And I feel like the music industry in America, like every little thing you say is taken like it's you.
Hmm.
And that's the difference between music and the black culture and music and other cultures. So how can you tell a writer what to write about? Like I know there was this record label who had told me not to get off the Dr. Sabi subject, but you
Hmm.
need to write about conscious stuff since you so smart. But maybe I don't want to write about conscious stuff on that day. I mean, I was with this girl last night and she got raped by her boyfriend and her mother was having sex with her husband and she told me the story and I went home and wrote about it and I put it on a wax. So you gonna tell me that I'm the one that my mother had sex with like it's horrible. Like we just have no creative freedom. That's just like saying, if 50 writes the movie Power, you calling him ghost or a drug dealer when no, he's not a drug dealer, he's an entertainer. Like I just feel like America doesn't give everybody the same creative.
They
They
don't
don't
give
give
black
everybody
people.
the
They
same
don't give black people that. Like if you're a rapper,
free.
you rap about gangster rap. You supposed to be the super gangster rapper pushing keys in real life. If not, you getting tested, people pulling up with guns, stuff like that, and a lot of these young guys are
Right.
getting
Well,
murdered
actually,
behind that.
like my song, right, like my song that I put out with the Graveyard, like all of a sudden after I put out a video with Graveyard, everybody 100, 200 rappers are killed for that year. Like they'll pull up to your house with guns, right? And you just like, this is ridiculous. Like, hell no, I don't want to do this. What kind of drugs are they on? Like, is this fentanyl or is this crack? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
So, my point is about the Sabi thing. Only reason why I'm telling you this, Octavius, is because we are
mm,
friends and you know how personally I take it. So I
yeah.
just don't want to be attached to that bullshit. I mean, he not
Oh
bullshit,
nah,
but
nah.
just
No.
because
The thing is, I don't think you really. I think at some point you'll come out
I
and tell
just
the
went
truth
on
about
a
that.
listen.
Yeah,
I a trip. I just went on a trip. I supported his
mm,
movement, and his minions just came after me basically because
yeah.
they couldn't afford to. So everybody who loved Dr. Sabi that couldn't afford to take a trip to Honduras, a $300 flight from America to Honduras round trip. Everybody who couldn't afford or didn't want to spend that 300 that so called say they support him, I spent the $300 to make take a round trip ticket. The same people who didn't want to spend that money to support him and stay in his lodge, but they online talking crazy about how they love him so much. Those are the same people who attacked me.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, I'm supporting their father or their daddy or their matriarch or whoever the hell he is to them. I'm spending my hard earned money to support his movement, but then I get vilified for it.
No,
So
the thing is, Star, we are really, we are the true conscious community. You know what I mean? We've been places, and that's what a lot of these people that get online, there's social media people that talk about consciousness and herbs and stuff, but like you really live that life, like you really about that life for real. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people that are just envious of a lot of stuff that you have done. You trailblazed in the conscious community or whatnot. But the thing is, just I didn't want to make it nothing about him. Not like my point was bringing him up
I know,
is,
no, I know, no, no,
mm,
no, babe, no. I know for a fact you wasn't making it about him,
mm,
but I've learned how to be an outside listener. Soon as you say that name and you got me on the phone, these
oh yeah,
people are crazy. So this is why I had to stop you. Like I know what you were doing. I'm with you. I'm 100%.
yeah,
If I thought you was doing that, I wouldn't even be on this call. But I know what happens. Like I know what they thinking. So
mm-hmm,
you got Star Marie on the phone and you say Dr. Sabi's name. Oh my God. Now all of Dr. Sabi's minion, you got blue pill, red pill, Dr. Umar Johnson, and whoever else. Oh, she's trying to be one of us. She didn't get initiated. She don't got permission. And then next thing you know, I got the cops coming running down on me in Africa. Like, no, just don't. Let's just not even go there because that's just craziness.
yeah,
I'm just one female with 1,000 niggas with wives that's bothering me. They should be home giving their wife a pedicure or getting they willy waxed or something. Why is a whole bunch of married men that are supposed to be Pan Africans and supposed to be this and that worried about one little woman on social media taking trips?
yeah.
It does it just never made sense to me.
You're
That's
living the
why.
life that they fantasize about. That's the thing. You're living the
But
life
you
that they
gotta.
fan.
But I'm saying. But the problem is, I'm single, and you got a whole family. You got a whole wife at the crib with kids and a bunch of
Yeah,
friends. Like, why are you even on my page? Why are you even worried about where I go or who I'm intervening with and where I'm initiated at? Like, what's wrong with your marriage and your family?
mm,
What's the real issue here?
yeah.
Cause why are you trailing me and why are you using little young rappers like
Don't
I
call
ain't
them.
gonna
Yeah,
say
don't
they,
call no name. Yeah, don't call no name.
but you using them as a scapegoat, like, oh, she raped our kids. She's a pedophile with our children. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about your daughter or your child.
Yeah,
You put your daughter and your child out on me. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm out the way. I'm doing what I need to do to take care of me. I done served this country. I done finished college. I work like a fucking horse. And I mind my damn business unless you poke the bear. And
Yeah.
then when you poke the bear and cursed out, you want to send the cops to my motherfucking house. Now you see how I'm cursing, but I'm spiritual. Nobody manipulative does what I do. A manipulative person is not going to do that. They're not going to go from speaking like I speak and then cursing. That's not manipulation. That's a person who's being hardcore, 100% real. At the end of the day, I grew up in the gutter. I grew up in New York. I'm from Queens and the Bronx, but I'm educated too, and I can't help that. And then my genealogy is East African. What do you want me to do? I'm not killing anybody. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not stealing from anybody. I'm not messing with nobody else's husbands unless you send other people's husbands to me to pose like they're single. And then after I fall in love with them, they tell me they're married just to hurt my feelings or give me low self-esteem. Listen, I know the whole game. I don't know if these people are Masons or Nuwapians or Muslim. I don't know what they is, but whatever fraternal order this is, they done put the whole book on me. They done did the
Yeah.
whole book on me, babe. And
Well,
it's just, to me it's disgusting, but
yeah. I
whatever.
mean, let's not talk too much about the haters. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
but um, let's talk about, like, we have a lot of women in the chat right now, and
Okay. That's
a lot of them are, they admire. Like, for a lot of y'all don't know, I put up one of your pictures, and this is Star recently right here, and she's in her 40s. She's open about it. Saying she's 44 years old, and like, and you tried every diet out there. So someone asked whether you are you still a vegan, fruitarian, or whatever. And I know that you're going to give a very good answer about, like, your journeys on what type of diet is good, or the best type of diet for a woman like yourself, or women that may be interested in, like, uh, maintaining a good health through eating. So, what would you say? I know you talk about the vegan diet and your critique of it, because I know you was a vegan for a while.
well. Once you get into epigenetics, hold on. Let me ask my chef. I need my chef got to get me some water. He don't speak real good English, so if I
Hmm.
talk in African, excuse me.
Yeah.
I
Oh no,
don't
you
know if
cool.
he.
Yeah.
Okay.
So peace to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. How you doing, Vibes Queen, Angel Food, uh, Miss Lady Red Sparkle.
Yes. Hi. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm here. He got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What you say? All
Oh
right.
yeah, we're talking about the different diets that you tried throughout the years, and can you tell us about the evolution of, like, the different diets you tried throughout the years? I know you started as a vegan for a while, and I know you're not a
Well, I
vegan no
didn't
more.
start out. I never started out as a vegan. I was a vegan for 3 years. Um, I was a vegan for 3 years, and I'm gonna tell y'all, the vegan diet for me was the worst diet that I've ever had. Actually, it led me to a lot of different ailments, which I don't want to talk about because I don't want big pharma coming after me. So, like I told you, Octavius, in the beginning of this conversation, there's certain things that I won't elaborate on
Oh yeah,
because in
yeah.
the
No, you
past,
cool. You
elaborate
cool.
got me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a vegan for 3 years and I was already healthy before I became a vegan. Um, I was on the epigenetic diet, which is the blood type diet, where the blood antigens and lectins have to match the actual foods that you're intaking, and you have to study that. I was doing that the whole time I was in the military, and very, 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 very effective diet, very healthy. But when I got out of the military, I went through a very bad divorce. I found my way into the conscious community because I was looking for, when you get married and you get divorced, you lose you. There's two things that happens when you get divorced. You're gonna lose all your friends, and you may end up with, because when you're married, you have mutual friends, and these friends, once you divorce, they got to take a side, and either they're gonna take your side or they're gonna take the husband's side. It's just the way things work. And when I
Mm-hmm.
got divorced, most of our mutual friends went to his side, so they just started falling off. They just started falling off like quickly, and I found myself with no friends. And then my family wasn't supportive of me as far as me getting my divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So I was basically outside with no family, and I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I would say now. At the time, I thought that it was the right places, but it wasn't. So I started getting into the conscious community, and I think when I got into the conscious community, they didn't know that I was prior military at the time. And I think when they found out that I was prior military, I became what you call a sellout. Now, I didn't know that a military veteran that goes and seeks the conscious community would be looked upon as a sellout. I didn't know that. I just was innocently looking for friends and for family, and they was online talking so good, like black woman is God and we love each other and we shall overcome and kumbaya and all this stuff. So I wanted to find like that loyalty, and I started um getting into the conscious community, and I became like a chameleon trying to do what they do to fit in. And
Mm-hmm.
I left my diet, the original diet that I'm on now. I had left this diet that I'm on now and went into veganism. And when I went into veganism, my emotions was I started getting very weak emotionally. My hair was thin, my edges was falling out. My teeth was getting crooked, my eye whites was yellow. I had a fat stomach that I couldn't really, and I'm going to all type of vegan practitioners. I'm going to the best of the best. I'm spending thousands of dollars going to nutritional coaches, and I'm online for hours a day trying to perfect this vegan diet. Then they told me about the mapping and what foods not to eat together and what foods you should eat together and what is gassy and what's not. But really, I was just gassed up in that diet. It was just I just didn't look good. That's why when you see me now, Octavius, you like, oh my God, my friend, you look like yourself again. Because the vegan diet fucked me up. It really
Yeah.
did. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak against the vegan diet, because once I did my research, I found out that people who are type A blood, and usually those people have wider noses, they're darker hue, and they have like more coarser hair. Vegan diet does very well for them. Like most of them are like purple, black. Vegan diet does good for their genealogy, their phenotype. Um, and it goes deeper than that, but I'm speaking in layman terms for people who are not a scientist. I don't know if y'all know, but I'm also I have 3 degrees. So one of my I was going to school to be a doctor at first, so I'm very scientifically inclined, traditional wise. I went to traditional school, chemistry. I've taken like 7 chemistry classes, so I'm trying my best not to talk too collegiate
Mm-hmm.
where you guys don't understand it. So I'm speaking in layman terms for you all. If I was on the phone with more of people who are more scientific, I would speak in scientific terms. So
Oh
excuse
no,
how I'm coming.
go in, go in.
Okay, because I want to make sure everybody understands me. Because sometimes I can get a
Yeah.
little condescending. But I just know that the vegan diet doesn't work for me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
like if you look at Dr. Sabi and Dr. Sabi's daughter, and you look at me, we're two different phenotypes. Dr. Sabi is much taller. Me, I'm a shorty. Dr. Sabi is darker. His daughters are darker. They got bigger noses. They got different skulls. So that diet is not gonna work for me. I'm a different phenotype. People like me, we need meat and vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a blood thing. So when I did the vegan diet for 3 years, I did get sick. I ended up with liver cancer. Um, I ended up with liver cancer. I didn't want to say that. Cirrhosis of the liver is what I had, and I was emotionally I was very weak, meaning that every little thing was emotional to me. I wasn't logical. I lost my sense of logic. My pineal gland was faded. Um, I was looking for love all the time being a vegan. Now that I'm a carnivore, you know what I mean? I don't look for love. I just look for survival and
Survival.
yeah, I'm in survival mode. Like fuck love. Like I mean, love is great, but listen, if you're not helping me, if you're not helping me become, if you stressing me and you're not helping me, then I don't have no use for you. And that's what my diet, the brain and the thought mechanisms. have everything to do with your diet, even down to your hair, down to how you speak, down to how you see things. It has everything to do with the diet. And I just feel like the vegan diet was distorting everything. Even, I'm about to tell you something crazy. When I was a vegan, I went to college 5 times and dropped out 5 times. As soon as I became a carnivore, I was on a dean's list, and I got through my master's
Well,
and my
the
bachelor's
proper the
in
proper
three
term is
years.
homini the proper term is omnivore. That means you eat both. Like I mean you eat plants and meat.
Okay, omnivore,
Yeah,
carnivorous, or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Carnivore mean like
you know
just
what?
meat. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
There's
go.
this
I'm sorry.
restaurant down here that we all go to. There's this restaurant down here in Rhonda. It's called Carnivore, so that's what made me say it. We got
Mm-hmm.
a restaurant. Matter of fact, the last picture I posted with the waiters, that's Carnivore. I went to go eat at Carnivores.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
Yeah.
if you look at the signs
Yeah,
on my social
I ain't
media,
want to. She up there talking scientific, and she up there using the wrong terms. So I don't even know how they gonna
right,
be.
right.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, yeah. So anyway, I just feel like I just, when I was a vegan, I wanted to get married. Like, oh, why nobody's marrying me? Like, I was like that. But as soon as I went to my regular diet, I'm like, yo, fuck them. That's their loss. Like, shit, he could have that. If that's what he want, that's what he like. Okay, that's what's up. Like, it's just, I just got a better, my mental health is just way better. And I'm not dealing with like, I don't got a fat stomach, nothing. I'm not pup, none of that. So I'm not going back to vegan. I'm sticking to the lectin diet, which is, there's this book called Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And like I said, I was on that diet from age of 17. No, not age of 17, age of 19. I had diabetes, and I was the diet was brought to me around the time when I was suffering from type 2 diabetes. And then I was able to eat without having to take insulin. And then like I said, I went through a really bad divorce. I had just came back from Iraq, and I was trying to be a part of something. So I went to the conscious community, and everybody in the conscious community was vegans. And so I did it, and it just didn't work for me. And, you know, all the drama started as
Most of them
well.
guys that's
And I,
still on that vegan diet, they you see them now. They don't lost all their teeth. You know.
yeah, my teeth got messed up too. I got nice teeth now, but I'm talking about before I went vegan. I had the most beautiful chompers you could lay your eyes on, and them 3 years fucked up my teeth real bad, and I had to go get dental work. People thought that I went and got veneers. I don't have veneers. I got dental work. Like, I had to get implants and all types of stuff. It was bad. So my teeth had gotten bad and everything. And it got so bad to the point where when I went back to eating meat, I couldn't even chew a steak. I couldn't even chew through a steak. So I went and I had told my mom, I said, yo, I can't even chew through a steak. Like, my teeth are weak. And she helped me pay for my dental work. My teeth were done 3 times in 3 different years because it was so expensive. I couldn't afford it all at one time. So I had to get my teeth done 3 times. We first started the first group in 2016, where I got a smile reconstruction because my the bottom row was going off to the side. And then in 2018, um I got some more work done. No, 2018. Did I go to,
I
yeah,
think I
2000,
seen
no,
it's a
2000.
video on here that where you went to Colombia or something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I got my teeth. They started out in Costa Rica when I left Yada's village. Because when I was in Yada's village, my teeth were fucked up. They were fucked up, right? And because that was the end of my vegan rant. Because remember, I was in Yada's village. I was a vegan at that time. It wasn't until I got to Costa Rica where I went back to my carnivorous diet, or my omnivore diet, my omnivorous diet. And I couldn't chew through meat, so we started my I was charged $8,000 for the first surgery, and that was in Costa Rica. And then when I got to Colombia, then we did the other diet. Was I in Colombia first or Costa Rica? I don't remember. I've been all over the place. And then I had finished them up in Mexico. Hello? Hello? I
Yeah,
can't
my
hear
bad,
you.
my bad, my bad. I'm back. I'm back. I used the wrong term too. It was omnivore. My bad. So omnivore is the
Okay, yeah,
plants and meat. That's what I'm bad. Make sure. So we don't want to use the wrong one.
yeah.
It's like 5 in the morning for
So
me. I should know that. Know
I'm an
better.
omnivore, but the
Yeah.
main things that I stay away from, just to make it more clear. But like I said, you got to go by your blood type, because I don't want to be out here people going on my diet and then what works for me don't work for them. So that's why I say y'all got to get into genetics. I don't eat any dairy whatsoever. I cut dairy completely out of my diet. I don't eat any dairy from nowhere, no source, no none of that milk. I don't do dairy. I don't do white sugar. I make a lot of pastries. I love baking cakes. I love baking cookies and pies. But instead of sugar, I use agave, and instead of wheat flour, I use rice flour or pea protein flour to make my pastries, like my cookies, my cakes, my pies, my pie crust. So I don't eat any white sugar. I don't do any gluten whatsoever, because agglutination happens very quickly in old blood types. We don't have any antigens on our blood. Old blood type is just a straight blood cell. There's no legs and there's no arms on them. So we don't have anything pushing the two cells from agglutinating and sticking together. And you need your blood cells to carry out toxins to the living kidneys to create new blood. So if you're eating foods that agglutinate and you are O blood type, you're getting clumping of the system. So when I found out, I'm like, well, vegan, the whole damn vegan diet is agglutinating my blood cells. So this is why I'm not responding well. Blood is not flowing through my brain properly. I'm making emotional decisions. Um, just a lot of different things. So I started getting on in line with the lectin diet. A blood A type and a blood AB type, they do have a lot of legs and arms, so they're able to mop through all of that agglutination in the body. I mean, when you put flour and glue together, I mean, when you put flour and water together, you're making glue. And I mean, that's what, if you go and you see how Elmer's glue is made, Elmer's glue is made with wheat flour and water. So if your body is 90% water and you're taking in wheat, you're just agglutinating your whole system. And
Hmm.
if you don't have legs on your blood cells to counteract this effect, then what you have is you have clumping of blood. Now you're fat. So you see a lot of fat vegans out there. It's not because they're not eating healthy. They're not on the proper diet for their genetics. So that's what I was trying to tell people, but they kept like shoving Dr. Sabi down my throat and calling me a sellout because I was in the military, and I'm just like, man, So my diet is, I don't do gluten, I don't do white sugar, and I definitely don't do dairy, and I don't eat every fruit, because people think that all fruits are good, but all fruits are not. Some fruits are only here to be medicine, they're not here to be eaten. I don't want to give that list out because I don't want to hurt the fruit industry, but there are fruits that you should not eat that people do eat every day unless you're sick. They're only nature only created them to be medicine, and that's it. So I'll just tell you this, the only fruits that I do eat, I'll just put it to you like this. I won't tell you which ones are bad, is bananas, um, mangoes, and berries are not a fruit. That's actually a flower bud, and I do berries. I don't indulge in any other fruit. And I'm not saying they're all bad, but there are many that we think we should eat. But your body, when you eat certain fruits, your body collaborates them as sugar. It gets calibrated in your body as white sugar. You think that it's a good sugar, but it's actually not. Your body's because when your body calibrates anything as sugar, the first thing it wants to turn into is fat in the body. Now you're dealing with unnecessary weight gain because you think you're eating healthy and you're not.
Hmm.
And that's another problem in the vegan culture that they don't teach. Also, there's a lot of herbalists in the vegan culture that sells all these herbs to you, but what they don't know is that certain herbs don't work unless they have drivers. Like, for example, if you take dandelion, but you don't take milk thistle with dandelion, then dandelion is not going to help you pee. You have to take milk thistle with dandelion because milk thistle is a driver. Or let's say you want to take olive leaf to get rid of, a cold sore. Well, olive leaf does not work unless you take oregano oil with it, because that's a driver for it. And then you have also herbs that cancel out each other. Like if you're taking two different herbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll both go in your body, and then none of them work because they're canceling out each other. So when you do herbal cocktails, you have to know exactly what you're doing, and you have to consult with a herbalist like myself before you start trying to go on the internet and just googling everything. Oh, I could do this for this and that for that, and next thing you know, you got a bad liver. See, I ran into these problems already. That's why I could tell you guys, because if you're taking too many herbs that don't work with each other, it could destroy your liver, and then you're going to end up having gray hair, getting fat, with all other ailments, be vulnerable to very nasty diseases, and you're going to hurt yourself. So um, be careful with those herbs. Be careful with people just selling you everything, because I've been down that road, and trust me, it's nothing nice. So
So
I
what
think
do you
that's
think?
my take.
So what is what would you say the biggest why is the conscious community constantly pushing the veganism? Like, like why is that? Like, in your opinion?
Because the conscious community pushes anything that big pharma allows them to push. Whatever big pharma allows these people to push, they're gonna push it. I'm not saying the whole conscious community, but America itself, and I fought for the country, is materialized. It's a money making capital, and at the end of the day, it's about money more than it's about anything else. And I mean, that's what it's created for. America has the black people that are in America was sent to America as a gift from Mother Earth, from Africa. So America is a big testing ground. Like when you're born, when you born, your birth certificate is a savings bond. Like it's a testing ground. Is people are getting American dollars, and people are getting paid to be experimented on. I mean,
Mm.
it is what it is. I mean, they wouldn't be pushing veganism if Big Pharma didn't allow them to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If it's an industry that makes money, then why not push it? Now, I'm not saying veganism is not healthy. It is, but it's not healthy for everybody. I know it's not healthy for everybody because it wasn't healthy for me. I was able, because I was already healthy before I even found the conscious community. I was able to decipher and see it for myself clearly, because I had already, overcame diabetes back when I was 19. So I was already on a health journey 10, 15 years prior to me even trying to become a part of the conscious community, looking for love in all the wrong places. So when I went on that diet that they were pushing, and the things that were happening to me, I was able to reflect back, because you're never supposed to stay in the past. The past is depression, the future is anxiety, but the present is the gift. But the past is like your Akashic records. It's like your book. So what happens in your past, you put in your library, and you reference those books when something happens in the present that you want to counteract, or you want to help. So I was able to go back to my Akashic records and look through my book and say, well, this didn't happen when I was doing this didn't happen when I was doing that. And I can't say because I was young, because I was over 27 when I was doing this. And so let me see if I go back this way. And then I went back that way, and I just process of elimination. I'm like, man, fuck, I'm not doing no vegan diet. Crazy. I'm not about to do that. Now, did I rap about it and sing about it? Yeah, because there's a lot of vegans. I had a lot of vegans following me. So of course I eat vegan, came from my peoples, not you, and all that in my raps. I mean, I'm an artist at the end of the day. I just didn't know that I was going to be so scrutinized later on, moving forward, without even having a fair trial.
Oh yeah. So what is
Yeah.
the spiritual reason that the conscious community give for veganism?
Um. Well, I I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. This is bad, because what is the spiritual reason? I really don't believe that those people are spiritual. I just don't.
Mhm.
There's no. They just burning candles and doing witchcraft, which is, the highest form of witchcraft is lying on somebody, changing the trajectory and making perceptions, and they're doing it with money and groups and bullying. spiritual people are actually in Nepal. They're Buddhist monks. They're praying every day. They're meditating. They're sitting by the beach for 4 or 5 hours. They're trying to find their third eye. And I haven't met any spiritual people in the conscious community in America yet. I just haven't. I'm gonna be real with you. Everybody I meet that says they're spiritual in the conscious community, they selling books, they pimping women, or they're lying on people and getting people in trouble that don't do what they don't dress like them and read their I don't know. I
You
don't think
telling
they
the
have a
truth.
spiritual.
No, you telling the truth about that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, cuz I mean
I
cuz
would
I
have to say that. Yeah, I have to say that you are telling the truth. That's not nothing. Like we seeing that brother Polite. I don't know if he done play it out. Like he got in trouble with some little girl, underage girl or something. Um, so
they just lying. You see,
mm,
I used to have high regards and high respect for the conscious community, but once I realized that they're lying on people and creating narratives and doing things to change the trajectory of somebody's life, and they working with the police coalition, I I, I don't have. I'm good. I'm not gonna say I just don't want to be a part of that mess at all. I don't want to be. I know I dress African. I know I wear African beads. I know I'm in Africa. I know I pray and I meditate. But what I've been shown back back home, because America will always be my home, is not the kind of spirituality that I'm into. I mean, Erica Badu is nice to look at. She's very entertaining. Um, Lauren Hill's not there anymore. Nas is in Paris. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I don't have a disdain for those that I name, but I just don't have anything in common with with those people, and they don't have anything in common with me. If they did, if I had anything in common with them, or they had anything in common with me, they would have. They definitely would have embraced me like a sister, and they didn't, and I didn't embrace them either. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm not upset that they didn't, and I'm sure they're not upset that I didn't. It's just it wasn't no chemistry.
yeah.
So
Well,
so my
you actually living the life that they talk about. Living in Africa, eating this nice diet. You know what I'm saying? Being 40 years old, looking like you're 25. You know what I mean? So
so
like,
yeah. So what I'm
yeah.
saying, I'm not saying I'm not saying that they're not spiritual. I'm just saying
Hmm.
my definition of spirituality. When you ask me that question, I don't see spirituality. So I can't really answer that. When you said what is the spiritual reason behind it, but I can't see it because I can't capitulate with them. I mean, I see the clothes and I hear the words, but it's just that I don't know. The energy is just not. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Like I try to get into Baduism and Jill Scott stuff, and I don't. It's not. It's not connecting, and I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm just on my own journey, trying to
Yeah.
find my own way. I love the Bible. I love the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I love going to pyramids, but I just some of the stuff, the energy. I'm not saying the stuff they're saying. The energy is just there's no chemistry. So
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally get it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So like, I think we gave them enough. You know what I'm saying? Just to say hello for now. We're gonna do an official interview. Um, you're gonna be cammed up, I guess. And with the technology, Star was surprised y'all that she could call in through WhatsApps through my computer, and we could just broadcast. You know, like in an instant or whatever. So that's why like I let y'all know. Send it. Help out the channel. Donate or whatever you can.
You know,
Um,
I don't want to get cammed up again, no, Octavius. If I do get cammed up, I don't want to be interviewed. If I get cammed up, I'm just gonna come on and smile because I don't want no more Amber Heard and Johnny Depp stuff with my hairstyle to the side. So we don't
yeah.
want to cam up because next thing you know, they're gonna have another girl up there with my hairstyle and an earring in the nose
They be
that's white.
copycatting.
It's just that was ridiculous and it was crazy. I know you said move on from the haters, but that shit that I'm really surprised at media for that though. Like they really did that. Like that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
That was very sad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love Pirates of the Caribbean, and I never heard of Amber Heard until they did the whole reenactment of Star Marie. Like a lot of times they do these things and they think I don't see because I don't respond, but I see everything. I don't say nothing because I don't want to look crazy, but
Well, let me
I'm
explain. Let me
alive.
explain to the crowd because like they'll think that you're just talking gibberish. Um, but there's been instances when Star was big on Instagram. She got 30, 40,000, sometimes up to 100,000 followers in no time. Like in no time, she would get it, and it would be other Instagram models that she know personally from her time in Atlanta. I'm not gonna call them names. They would actually study her style and what she'd be dressing and everything like that. And within like a day or two, you'll see them post like the same type of style of dress, style of hair,
But make a
and
mockery of it, but try to
yeah,
subliminally make a
yeah,
mockery.
yeah. But there was, and it's like I seen that in the conscious community back in like '08 when we used to do blog talks and stuff like that, and we would be up there talking, and then you'll see rappers take exactly what we say on these blog talks, and then they'll make rap songs out of it as if they came up with this type of lingo. So like even when you're on
And then make
YouTube,
a mockery,
yeah,
make a mockery of me, like subliminally try to
hmm
diss me.
yeah.
Like, and they'll do it like to like a default. Like they go crazy with it. You just be like, yo, don't you people got anything better to do than to just tease somebody all day? Like basically what they was doing was teasing me. Like
No, but
children
there was
tease.
actually seeing you as an artist. So I would say that you was an artist. You was coming up with a certain type of style, and the other
Hmm.
girls they knew you. They knew you wasn't as big as them, as far as on social media at the time. They would take your whatever you're doing, and then they'll put it on their platform as if they were. I saw this firsthand, so I'm not. I'm validating what she's saying.
Right. Steal my swag and then diss me. Right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
telling you. Like they would
yeah.
literally steal my swag and then turn around and diss me.
hmm
Like what do you do? I mean, and the thing about it is, I don't care if you take my swag. I'm here for y'all to share. Like, I want you to do that, but why disrespect me in the process? Like, take the style and be happy. Like, what? Why do you have to take my style and diss me too? Like, that's dumb. Like, if you like the way I wore my hair, just wear your hair like that. If you like the way I shook my butt or the outfit I wore or the color blue, just wear it. Why do you have to wear the color blue and still diss me at the same time? Like, what kind of crack are you on? Like,
Oh,
what
somebody
is
said
this
they
about?
wanted you to see the style of dress in Africa and say, "Forget the haters." If you ever came up,
Oh, let them know that I get all. So I don't buy clothes anymore. I forgot to tell you that. So all of my stuff, y'all can follow me on STARMARIE Jones. STARMARIE Jones is my name on Facebook. STARMARIE. Last name is Jones. JONES. STARMARIE Jones. So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't go shopping anymore. All of my clothes are custom made. They're all stitched and woven by hand or either made in someone's personal sewing machine. So if you look at my clothes now for the last, I would say 2 years, I don't have any Western culture clothes that are made in China that I don't wear that stuff anymore. I don't even have anything in my luggage that's made in China right now. Not that I love China, don't get me wrong, they're very great at what they do, but I wear most of my clothes are made in Guatemala, India, or Africa or locally, and they're all made by hand. A lot of the stuff that I wear is one of a kind.
hmm
So I wear a lot of Buddhist monk pants because I meditate and I pray 3 times a day. So I wear you'll see my pants. They're prayer pants. But yeah, I dress just go on my page and you guys can see. So Star Marie doesn't shop in malls and stuff anymore. Now I did shop a few times in South Africa in the mall, but that was just to show people that they do have malls and they do have real clothes and real sneakers. But for the most part, my dress is all unique and made for me and made by hand. And I one of my favorite fabrics is 100% cotton. One day I'll give you guys a little blog on cotton and why you should wear cotton. It's good for your aura and your energy. Clothes that you wear on your body deals with your energy and your chakra system. So just know that it's very important when you're choosing fabrics to wear, how you come off and present yourself to the world. So my favorite fabric is 100% cotton mixed with nothing. And then sometimes I do buy shirts and sometimes I do buy underwears and shorts that are mixed with Italian silk and cotton only. And then I also like birch linen, which is like one of Africa's main fabrics. So I normally just wear those, and I don't have any other fabrics that I wear. And
Yeah.
cotton is probably one of the best fabrics you could wear when you're trying to be more connected to, nature. So I
Um,
just want to put that
someone
out
asked,
to you all.
yeah, someone asking, um, will you be willing to start a clothing line and ship clothing here to the States? You know, if they
I
see,
would. I wouldn't have an issue with that as long as I had a partner there that I could trust, because I would have to buy barrels. Because if I did it my way, like if I did it with just me, it would cost too much in customs. I wouldn't be
yeah,
able to
customs
afford
the
that.
cost. Yeah, that's what's gonna eat it
But
up.
I
Reason why.
but
Yeah.
I but I buy the barrel. So they have in other countries, and I was gonna start that in Saint Lucia when I was doing my skincare line and getting a sofa from the French Caribbean. What you do is I would buy barrels for $80. It'd be $80 for the barrel. And the barrel you can fill up with, like, you could fill up like maybe a lot of stuff. Like I could put a bunch of shirts in there that probably 5,000 people can buy. And I could ship that through the water, through the ship. It won't come by air, it'll come by sea. And that'll be like five, maybe $400. So if I could spend $500 and send it to a friend that has a store there, then yeah, well, I'll definitely do that. But if I don't have like somebody at home that I could trust to set up, because I could even fly back to America, open up a store out there, sublease it, give them, like, I guess if the store is $1,200 a month, I give them a year, which is let me see, 12,000, $15,000 I give to the owner of the store, or we can just buy a brick and mortar, a building or a house or whatever. I was trying to do that anyway, and then they can just fill up. I can come back to Africa, fill up the barrels, and send them by sea, and they can stock the store like that. Yeah, that's like really easy to do, but it takes a team for that. Teamwork makes the dream work. I can't. There's certain businesses that I'm very very savvy about, that I know how to do, and I got the blueprint for them, but I just don't have the staff. And then also, when you're starting up a business like that, you can't really pay someone a salary. They would have to promote it, and we would have to build a percentage thing where, hey, if I get these t-shirts made, but it ain't gonna be no regular t-shirts. Guys, I'm extra. If I get these t-shirts made and we sell the t-shirts for $90 each, how much percentage would, because you got to give me a percent, I got to pay the girls here, which is not really much. I mean, the country here, the average person makes like two, three, $400 a month. And I
Mm-hmm.
could always go to like Malawi or one of those other countries that work for even less. We got to pay them, the village,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure they eating. Then I need a little money in my pocket for sitting up all night creating, because I would have to be at the factory creating fabric patterns. I got to do it in a computer. That takes time, which I know how to do. And then I got to ship it. So the person at home has to understand, we have to have a trust, like they have to understand my cost, so that when they get paid and they send me back the money, they're not like, well, I'm sending her too much money back, and they need to know, like, nah, this is what she's spending over there, this is what she's doing. So I have to send her 70% of my earnings. So, like, let's say I made a pair of pants that cost $90, and they're buying the pants for 90. The person that's at the store in America is only going to be able to make $30 off that pants. Meanwhile, I've done already paid the bills. I paid the taxes, the on the business, because you got to pay for when you register the business. You get that little orange card in America. You got to pay those taxes every month. So I'm paying the taxes on that. I'm paying the utility bills, which is the light and the gas for you to keep the store on, to keep the lights on at the store. and then
Mm-hmm.
I got to pay the village people, and I have to buy the fabric and create the patterns. So the person at home has to understand these things. They can't just sell the clothes for $90 each and then want to go 50-50, or want to keep, or like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
that's why
sending
some
her
of that
100,000.
stuff like those African dress, they're like $5 in Africa, but like in Nigeria, it's like $5 for some of them things people want to buy in America, but it's like 200, 300, $400. In America because of the customs and all the things they got to go through to get that stuff here. So it's not easy just to order something directly from Africa. It's a lot. You know, it's a lot to go through that.
Yeah, because, well, exactly, and plus, you would, like, I wouldn't, if you do it directly from Africa, that's way too much. You would have to do it in barrel format. So the barrels, they look like, y'all ever looked on TV and you looked at barrels and it look like oil cans? That's not oil cans. That's actually products in there. They look like big
Exactly.
oil barrels. Like that don't be oil. That be like skincare, hair care. All that stuff comes from China or Africa, or wherever it's coming from. But the store that you open in America, it has to be operative, because I would literally send like 6 or 7 months worth of stuff up front, because it'll save me money in the long run.
Hmm.
And while people are marinating on the stuff that I got out there already, we're here working on other updated, more fashionable things. And also, when you wear clothes like I wear, um I can't mass market it, because it's made with love. It's made with 100% cotton, very natural material. Like, I have chains and stuff that we make from orange peels. Like, I got a chain right now that I wear. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. And the lady, it took her like 4 or 5 days to make it, and she made it out of orange peels. But it's never, ever, ever, ever going to go bad, and it's just the most gorgeous piece that I could lay my eyes on. Also, the silver hair, it doesn't tarnish. So the silver hair that I wear, you don't have to take it off and wipe the black off. Like, I take showers, I go on the beach, I go on the pool with it.
Hmm.
Very, very shiny. Whatever the silver is here, I think it's like even a greater. It's better than 925, and it's better than gold itself. Like, it doesn't get dull. So I have, and it's not stainless steel. It's actually silver. It's very soft like silver and everything, but
Hmm.
it's beautiful. So there's a lot of stuff that I would like to bring to America, to sell to the righteous people. I'm not gonna say conscience anymore. I'm gonna say righteous community, because conscience and righteousness is two different things. Righteousness is when you being 100% yourself, you being real. I'm not telling you not to curse. I'm not telling you not to have sex. I'm not telling you not to, hustle and sell your body if you need money. I'm just telling you, being righteous is being 100% yourself and surviving. And whatever it
Hmm.
is that you need to do to survive and to make yourself comfortable in life, I'm all for it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell a stripper not to sell coochie if that's the way she eats. I'm not going to tell a drug dealer not to sell drugs if that's the way he eats. But what I am going to say is, if a person goes to college and gets a 9 to 5, a stripper or a drug dealer shouldn't tell them that they think they're better than others because they're not selling drugs or stripping.
Hmm.
Everybody hustles how they gonna hustle. Everybody chooses the path you set, the path you choose. It's not easy for anybody, no matter which route you go. Just mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
And long as you ain't killing nobody and robbing nobody, it's cool. See, that's what happened with me too. Like, I knew a lot of drug dealers and a lot of hoes, because I grew up in the gutter, and because I wasn't dating no drug dealer and I wasn't hoeing. Right away, they said that I thought I was better than them, but I ain't think I was better than them. That's the path they chose. Shit, I'm working hard. It's hard. It ain't easy for nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what nobody do.
It's
Just
all
long as
about
you don't
people.
come,
Yeah, people just need to mind their business. You know what I'm saying?
just don't
I
come
mean
robbing
that
me.
like that like, and I know a lot of people itching to know about like that whole thing that happened in 2018, and it was all because a blogger was thirsty, went on your Instagram with your 30 people that you were talking to, and lovely T, you know, grabbing your live, putting it on there, monetizing it, getting money off of what you did, and then your life went into turmoil because people didn't know how to mind their
And
business. You
right,
know.
and then they wanted me to care. I don't care who got a Grammy award. I don't care who got the man that I wanted. I don't care who got the husband and whether. I don't give a shit about that. I'm living my best life. I don't listen. You,
Yeah.
I'm happy you got your Grammys. I'm happy you married. I'm happy that nigga picked you over me. I don't give a fuck. Like, why is y'all on my page? Y'all want me to care about some shit I don't care about. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like they're trying to force me to care that a man didn't choose me and chose another woman over me. They want to force me to care that somebody got Grammy awards and they're big time rapping. I'm not. I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't invested in me, you're at liberty not to invest in me. What you want me? What you want me to do? Cry for a doggy biscuit? Like what you want me to do? I'm not about to sit up here and be upset because a motherfucker ain't choose me. You ain't choose me. Go move on. You
Yeah.
got what you like, and that's it. What the hell? Why y'all keep badgering me on social media about who a nigga with and who and what bitch is successful and which one ain't? I don't care. That's fine. Enjoy your life. You keep
And,
bothering
and
me,
and
ain't
the
gonna
thing
do
is, with
nothing.
all that shit that took place with all those people, you're living the best life out of all of them right now. Everybody. You know what I mean? Like it's undeniable. Like you're traveling the world. You know, you're picking what place you want to live on the daily, on the monthly. You know what I mean? It's a dream. Like what you're living is a storybook dream. You know, and like the thing is, it's very much deserved because a lot of the stuff that you went through on social media was unfair to you. These people knew about certain issues that you had prior to you even coming online, and they targeted you. You know what I mean?
Look,
And the
listen,
thing is, now
listen.
let me say this. Let me say I'll give you back the floor. They targeted you,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, you know, after all the dust settled, you're living the best life, not your best life. You're living the best life. You know what I mean? And your
Nah,
mental health is stable, and I'm happy for you. Like, you know, I may not see you, I may not see you in the United States ever again because if your happiness, and I'm your friend, you know, I got love for you, but your happiness, uh, for me as a friend, seeing you
well, you could
happy and
always
living
come to
life,
Africa. You could always
yeah,
come here, but go ahead.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah,
go.
same thing, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if your happiness is in Africa, stay there. You know what I mean? Because like I see that how the internet is. You got haters. You got people that are monitoring everything that you do. And you know I've experienced a little microcosm of what you experienced or whatever. Um, so I can understand. But the main thing is overall, you know, I know that you know it was a very hurtful time that went on for you. But you know, the thing is, look at where you are now. Look how God delivered you and put you in a beautiful place. You know.
Absolutely, because I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell social media this. Sometimes the problems go off of social media, and y'all don't see what's outside of social media. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna give only God the credit for me living here in Africa because really I had nowhere else to go. I was like a cat in the corner. They stripped me of my home, and
Hmm.
they did. They stripped me of my house. They took my house away. My $500,000 house I bought in Texas. They ran me out of my house and took my house from me. They took my child. They ain't take my child from me, but my son was under so much stress that they basically ran him to his dad. So they took my son from me. They took my ability to work a job away from me. They took everything. When I was in America, after fighting for my country. And I won't blame America for that. This is just a group that did this. And like I told y'all, 11% of America is black and 89% is white. So I can't expect the government of America to help me because that's what my people and my village are there for. But when the village strips you of everything, then you're stuck with basically nothing. So it was either stay in America and die or move on to greener pastures and just take a chance and try to find somewhere else. And um, my back was against the wall, And I dreamt to I was studying epigenetics for a while anyway, and I was already kind of creating my mind around being in Africa anyway. But they just put the battery in my back to really go through with it. Because, you know, a lot of times we say things that we want to say, and we dream things that we want to dream, but we don't really put the action towards it. But because the social media people who are in positions in America where they can interrupt your real life or outside of social media have the power to do these things, they really they did me real bad. And it wasn't the white man that did this to me. This was the black conscious community that did this. The white man, I'm sure he pays them and he gives them the ability to be who they are on social media and outside of social media. I'm sure that is it. But really, the people who call, you know, who call the shots, who sue you and take you through shadow court and uh court outside the real courtroom, which is called, I call it shadow court. My own people did it, and it's unfortunate because I love my people. I really do. I don't hate black people. I want black people to be stronger. I want black people to be smarter. I want black people to be healthier, and I want the best for the black communities. And I would never allow this little small group of black people that were in powerful positions that are actually paid politicians to deter me from loving my country. But what I will say is that Africa was my only resort. If I would have stayed in America, I would have just been stripped of everything. And whatever their reasons are behind it, I've calculated them in my mind, and they just didn't add up to me. I was like, nah. They saying that this is a reason, but this is a distraction for something else, or they saying that's a reason, but they scapegoat in that situation. It's got to be more. I've seen people do worse things than me that they haven't suffered half of what I suffered. And then what made it so crazy is once I got to Africa and got happy, I heard that I thought I was better than people, and I'm like, how do I think I'm better than people when you guys took everything away from me? What do you want me to do? I think I'm better than people because I'm not crying, or because men are not running a mud hole through my vagina, or what is it? How do I think I'm better than people when I have nothing? Well, I had nothing because I'm doing well now, but you took everything from me, everything I worked very hard for, my fingers to the bone. I worked very hard for. You took everything from me, and you know you did. You could play stupid with me all you want, and you could play stupid with society and social people, but we all know what y'all did to me collectively. So God brought me to Africa, man. And I can't take credit because I was I was just failing shamelessly in all of my efforts by myself and alone. And that's why I will never be one of those conscious community people that don't believe in God. I'm a righteous woman, and I know God is real, because if God wasn't real and I was believing in the sun and that nonsense they over there talking, and there's no way that I would be here and have a second life.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way.
And a
It's
good
gotta
life at
be.
that.
It's got, yeah, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit is real for sure. And I'm not going against my belief system for anything at this point. Not after the psychological terrorism that was deployed on me. Not after that happened. I even feel like I was actually connected to coronavirus in some way or some form. I mean, these people are very, very dangerous, and they're very, very hurtful, and they took me by surprise. I definitely didn't see any of it coming, but it came, and I'm not sure if it went. I don't really care if it went. I'm just vibrating high right now.
Mhm.
Hmm.
On that, we're gonna go ahead and end the live, but we will. This was just a warm up, guys. We just want to give y'all a sit down, pretty much. But we'll come back and do a official interview. You know what I mean? But this is like an early morning thing, and I thank everybody for coming out. And um, this is the kind of live stream that we used to do on this channel before all the drama. You know, something like this. And I think And I've seen a lot of great people, a lot of intellectual people coming through, people I haven't seen here before. Very smart people, and I appreciate y'all coming up early in the morning. And I see all the compliments for the type of stream that was just done. Just make sure you support, support the stream, support. Also, if you want to connect with Star Marie, she gave out the information. She's on Facebook at Star Marie
Hmm.
Jones. You'll find her there.
Yeah.
And you can follow some of her
Yeah.
travels. Just follow some of her travels. And if you just be supportive, don't go to being a hater. You know what I mean? And if they're a hater, start just block them. Don't even if you got somebody on your Facebook that's causing any kind of trolling, just block them. You know what I mean? Don't even play with them.
Mm.
Yeah. But we're
Not
gonna get up
because
out.
a
Go ahead.
lot of times too. I want to tell y'all that too. A lot of y'all who think y'all got haters on y'all accounts, those be AI bots. They got artificial intelligent bots, and they'll put like 1,000 fake humans on your page to say all these things. So definitely don't take that personal. I didn't know that either. At one time, I was taking it personal, and I realized that it was bots and people who actually work for a group. There's a group of people that work for a company, and they're in the background, and their sole purpose, and they get paid by the hour, $10, $15 an hour, just to be in your inbox talking to you, making you think that they a celebrity or they're a friend or they're this and they're that, and it's actually a corporation or a company that's actually doing that.
Well, you
So
actually
I
have a
don't
lot of
take.
those Indians. You have a lot of those Indians and people from
Yeah.
abroad. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
And yep, they definitely do that. That's what they get
Hmm.
paid to do. So I didn't know that either. So just don't get online and get to take anything too personal, because you never know. A celebrity could hate you. A rich celebrity that makes millions of dollars, they could pay a company $30,000 just to get on your nerve. Now you
Hmm.
got a whole bunch of people that's just getting paid. It's a paycheck for them to get on your nerve. They're not.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
So that's what somebody spent money. That's what happened to me, guys. Somebody spent money just to get on my nerve. So it's really not. People don't really hate me. They don't. They don't. Not no more. Now that my mental health and stuff is together, I can see things clearer, better.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a
but
big
I
thing.
did get it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing, and I want to thank you so much for allowing me to, to allow you to, talk to the people for a while. They've been missing you. They've been put you all over the world. They just say you done ran from
Oh,
people. You know what I mean. You somewhere doing that, doing this and doing that, and I'm just
I didn't
I,
run. I'm on a
no,
genetics
you no,
tour. Tell them I didn't run.
no,
Mhm.
you ain't run. You living your best life.
Mhm.
You're doing what everybody's
Thank you.
dreaming to do. You don't have to wake up and work a
Okay.
job. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
No,
Uh,
I work a job, but
yeah,
I don't want to put my business on.
but
But I do work.
yeah, you work. You do work. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
do some teaching or whatever. Um, but at the end of the day, it's the life world deserve. You know what I'm saying? For somebody that's good as you. This is right now, like Star is probably the longest friend I've had on social media. We had met a
Mhm.
few times and in person, and this is my friend. This is somebody I love her like she's my sister. She met my father. You know what I mean? So um, this person is very dear to me, and what I mean, and I appreciate her. Even how this channel got started, she came and gave energy to this channel. You know what I mean? For it even to be here and got to the place that it is right now. So I can't say nothing but thank you so much to you, Star Marie, and saying it publicly. But people trying to twist it, but I do love you very much, and we're gonna be friends for life.
I
Peace,
feel
y'all.
like I'm seeing. All right.